Well, again, I'm not going to judge one comment in what will be a very complex set of circumstances and most likely require multiple stages. The removal of Hamas needs to be the first objective. We all wish to see that happen as quickly and effectively as possible so that some type of peace and stability can be achieved, and so that we can see an end to the loss, tragically, of innocent lives that is taking place. The steps after that, in terms of how long Israel may play a role there, what other steps may be undertaken, they are ones that will require strong leadership and extensive engagement from Israel, from its international partners and friends, and from all of the other Middle Eastern and Arab nations who have clear interests as well in the region, and ultimately, I would hope, in seeing stability in the region.
We're going to see potentially another interest rate rise today. What exactly can the government do to ease cost of living?
Well, this is a government now presiding over a situation where Australia's core inflation rate is higher than Canada or the United States. It's higher than Italy or Germany or France. It's higher than Japan. And the Albanese government has handed down 2 budgets. It has responsibility now for the national economy. It wants to take credit for some things, and if it's going to do that, it has to take responsibility for interest rate rises, for inflationary pressures, and for the cost of living pain that Australians are feeling. The government whose last budget was described by many economists as being inflationary and as ultimately putting pressure on interest rates to be higher for longer. And tragically, today, Australians may end up paying the price. If interest rates go up, it will be proof that the economists who said the Albanese government's budget would keep interest rates higher for longer were right, and Australians will be paying the price for that. Well, the government firstly needs to have a clear plan for how it will bring inflation down. Not just a few talking points, which you get from the government, where they talk about a handful of policies that they took to the last election that weren't focused on tackling inflation at all. They need a comprehensive plan for bringing inflation down. They need to show proper spending discipline. They need to work with the states and territories in terms of that type of discipline and how it can be achieved. And they need to make sure that they aren't putting pressures upwards on inflation, which tragically is what things like their industrial relations reforms do through the anti-competitive approaches and the measures there that will hurt productivity and just drive up costs in a whole range of sectors.
So spending cuts as opposed to cash handouts?
The government's got to look carefully at how it ensures it doesn't have any wasteful spending, it doesn't have excess in its budget, it doesn't contribute to inflationary pressures. It's equally got to make sure that any measures it applies have downward pressure on inflation if they are designed to assist Australian households. But ultimately it is for the Albanese government, who've had 2 budgets now, to ensure they have a plan to tackle inflation and to keep interest rates low. And tragically, after 2 Albanese government budgets, inflation in Australia is now higher than many of other countries when it used to be lower, and Australians are going to pay a price for that.